All right, ready to rumble.
All right.
Do I sound loud there, or is that okay?
No, that sounds alright.
Okay, done. Whenever you're ready,
One, two.
Yeah.
mate. Look at the cactus there, man. Just for fucking air quality.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Nomad podcast. We have me, Danny Abbey, Liam Mulligan, and Davey Noonan. This podcast might be a bit controversial with a few people. There's going to be a few people giving out who we pick and all that. But look, we're picking the top 10 or 5?
5.
Top 5 sports celebrities of the decade. So from 2010 through to 2020. We're going to go through our own preferences. So it's our own opinions. We're not going on stats. We're not going on
Money.
Yeah, we're not going on money. We're not going on popularity.
Achievements,
We're going on what they've done for us. So there's going to be a few people angry. Oh, why did he pick him? Why did he do? He's a fucking idiot.
There's probably a bit of crossover as well, though, because if you're going to be one of the top athletes of the decade, then the chances are you've probably got a lot of achievements and a lot of money, and you know it's the sort of
people
crossover.
respect you as a personality.
So there's a few people that missed the cut, which none of us know. By the way, none of us know who we picked. So this is all anonymous. So I'm going to say a few people, and the lads are going to give me a bit of stick. And even though mine are probably the best top 5.
There better not be any Shamrock Rovers players on there.
No, there's a few nearly made the cut now. But so we're going to we'll kick it off right now, and I'll say my.
Yeah, you go for your
You go
5.
first. You go first.
All right. So my number 5 is.
Have you done them in order as well? I haven't done it. Oh, okay. Well, you go on. I'll order mine quickly there now. You go.
All right. So my number 5 is John Jones. Right?
Yep.
The reason why I picked him, he's never lost in the UFC. When you think of the UFC, he's top 1-2 lad. You think of the UFC. Even if you haven't seen the UFC, you know John Jones, he's a killer. He wasn't going to make the list because of his drugs that he got involved in. So the steroids, that's the only reason why. Whatever they do outside of UFC, I don't want to know. But he done steroids to so-called improve.
For those that don't watch the UFC, John Jones is the greatest of all time. So I think he only has one loss on his record, but that was he didn't actually get beat. He won the fight, but he was given the loss because it was a knee
qualification.
Was it a knee? Was it something?
I think on the ground he kneed him or something. But
it was a disqualification, and he was given the loss. But technically, he did not lose the fight.
Nobody counts it as a
never
loss.
Lost,
21 wins, 1 loss. His loss is still not technically a loss.
It's
no
not
one counts
a loss,
it. So
nobody counts it.
For me, he's the greatest UFC fighter of all time. I think what he's done still now, he still hasn't lost. He's still killing lads left, right, and centre. So
I think it's a fair call.
that's, as I said, that's just what I think. So people are going to be on, how was he on it? That's for me.
I think there's probably going to be a lot of athletes as well that are sort of in a bracket where they're really good athletes, but they're just, for whatever reason, they're just not at the
top of their game in their sport.
They're at the top of the game, but they're just, when you push between one athlete and another, you know, because of a variety of different choices or factors, you'll choose another athlete. That doesn't mean John Jones, and obviously John Jones isn't in my top 5, but you could argue against that, definitely.
Yep. All right. So that's John.
And like John Jones, I think when eventually he's going to step up to heavyweight and he's going to take on the heavyweights. When he does do that, that's when you go, okay, now that is next level again, you know.
Number 4.
Right. Number 4. All right. Now this is another one. I don't think any of you is going to have him. Most people are going to be like, well, all right, Tiger Woods. Right?
Yeah.
For me, I love golf. Watching it since I'm probably 18, 19. My dad got me into it. Love it. Although he didn't win, he had a bad start to the year. 2010, 11, 12. He got 4 back surgeries.
When did he go for all that carry on with his misses and stuff like that?
Start of 2010 is when he was at his rock bottom lowest.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
That's when all the shit came out. Everybody's saying he should retire, he should give it up. Have you seen the video? There's a video on YouTube of, it's like 5 minutes long, of everybody slating him. saying he's never going to come back. He's finished. He's this. Basically slating him. 2017-18 came. He started playing 1 or 2. He won one of the Opens. 2019, he wins the Masters.
Yeah.
Which is for me, it's as golf. You don't really know much about golf.
I hate golf.
Obviously, you know Tiger Woods. He's the fucking golf Tiger Woods. But what he done when he won Augusta, David,
100%, because you could see the reaction out of all his other fellow colleagues in the sport and even people outside the sport to come back from where he was, rock bottom, gone through all the personal stuff, his back injuries, to come back and do what he did is like unheard of before. So
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, he didn't make my top 5. Sorry for interrupting you. He didn't make my top 5, but he was very close for that fact to come back from what he'd been through.
That's what I mean. People are like, he only won that. He didn't only win that. Obviously, he's done everything before that. But to come back the way he did and fucking stick it to everybody who doubted him. Like, the Masters is the main thing. If you become a golfer, the Masters is the main thing you want to win. It's like the World Cup of golf. It's the main thing what you want to win.
Yeah.
And the fact that he came back, 4 back surgeries, all this shit in the press, people saying he should retire. For that alone, I was just going, I was talking to my dad about it. My dad was like, oh, he won't win. My dad would say, he was like, oh, he's not, he's finished, he's this, that. You know, when it was the second day, I was like, Dad, Woods is looking tasty. And he was like, nah, I can't see him. He'll finish round. When he won it, I was going, man, that is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, God, man, I just struggle with golf, man, lads. I
think it's you either love it or you hate it. Like, if you play
boring.
that and you get into it, you love it. Yeah. But if you're like yourself and you don't play it, it's real. Like, oh fuck, it's like watching paint dry.
Yeah. I mean, I can appreciate Tiger Woods is. You know, when I don't know anything about golf, but when you know, if someone says to me, you know, who's the best golfer of all time, like I'm aware of Tiger Woods, you know, like, and I'm aware of he's got some great achievements. But yeah, all right. Well, next one,
number 3. This is another all-time great. He had to make it. I don't know whether he made yours, but Roger Federer.
Yeah, again, tennis. Honestly, I can't stand tennis.
See, tennis,
boring sports. Arby,
what's big boring sports? Man, you never watch the Australian?
Jesus Christ.
I'd be with Mully. I wouldn't hate it, but I wouldn't really watch it. But Federer is brilliant, unreal.
I watch any big Grand Slams, anything big. If it's like saying, all I watch is the World Cup when it comes to football. If it's a big event, I'll watch it because it's the best of the best.
Yeah, it's on. It's in the news.
What Federer has done in tennis, he's the best of all time. Man. He's fucking ridiculous. He won the Australian Open there 2018. I think he's 38. Like
he's the highest grossing tennis player of all time.
He's like, when you think of tennis players, I know people say Serena Williams as well because she's obviously just as good. But Federer, man, is for me.
Yeah, like
you don't know anything about tennis.
I don't know anything about tennis as
Davey,
well.
You probably would.
I watch it. I do watch it, and no, I definitely agree with what he's done in tennis. Like over his career is amazing, and the titles he's won. And you ask any tennis player coming up through the ranks who they try to emulate if they could in their career.
And he's a good lad as well.
He's a nice guy. He's a humble person.
Yeah,
whenever he's interviewed, he's just like, you know, he's just a humble person. He's not a dickhead at all. So yeah.
Yeah, look, I can respect again. Like, you know, I don't watch a lot of tennis, obviously, but I can respect that Federer is a legend of the sport. Yeah.
Right.
Number 2.
Number 2 is I love him.
Oh God!
Everyone knows who he is. He's hanging up there on the wall. Conor McGregor. Look, everyone's gonna be like, dude, right. Say what you want about McGregor. He's great to watch. He's an unbelievable sports for what he's done for the UFC. Like, he has to be on it. In the last decade, he's after making the UFC. Tripled, I reckon.
He's done a lot for the UFC.
100%.
Don't argue with that.
We're looking at sportsmen, aren't we? Like, you know, I think
what he's done,
like his achievements in sport.
In that sport,
they're okay, they're good, but like he's certainly not going to go down as one of the greatest of all time. You know,
it's still only early days.
Well, it is.
If he beats Khabib, is that not?
Look, if he beats Khabib,
he's only 31. He's not. What people saying he's finished. Fucking pisses me off. He's 31.
Yeah.
How is he finished?
No, he's not finished.
He's.
Look, I think this is not me arguing against it. I think I've got Conor in that second lot of athletes because of his influence.
Well, that's what I mean.
You know,
for me, he's someone that I look at going, as a sports-wise, I know whatever he does off it, he's a fucking lunatic, and that's fair to say. But put that aside, in the sport alone, man, he's fucking beaten Aldo. He's achieved fucking loads, man.
I think when we're looking at like sports people, I think there'd be a better argument for Khabib than there would be for Conor in the sport.
But 100%. But Khabib for me, it's just like he's a great fighter, and he is probably the best lightweight, definitely. But he just for me,
but I respect
he's a boring bastard. He's just
I get that. I get that. I get that.
Like as I said, how many people have you say, "Oh, have you seen Khabib's fight? Have you?" Who says apart from Khabib, apart from McGregor, you turn around to people that kind of are only on the border watching UFC. Name a few fights. They wouldn't really know. You say to McGregor, he fought Aldo. He fought Aldo. You can name.
No,
people,
I get that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just for me, I just think McGregor, he's putting life. He had to put a lot of life into the UFC. He got people watching. People obviously. People, even if you don't like him, you want to watch it for him to lose.
Yeah, I get that.
You know what I mean? You tune in to you're not going to tune in to watch Khabib to lose. They're going to like Khabib. Who did he fight? Even though it was a title fight, who did he fight? It's McGregor. Who is he fighting? Fuck man, I can't wait for that. I hope he gets knocked out, or as me, I hope he wins. And I reckon this year, he's going to be turning it all around. Hopefully.
But this year's a big year for him, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a massive year. Cerrone now next week.
If he comes and if he gets beat, I mean, probably when this podcast gets released, I don't know. We might try and release it before then.
No, we'll be able next Saturday. So.
But if he does get beat next week, I think if I was him, or I think the way I see it going, if he gets beat, he'll take his insurance fight against Nate Diaz, the third one, the trilogy. He might take another one. He might even get a rematch. I don't know if he gets beat. But if he gets beat, I think it's the start of the decline on his way out of the UFC. If he wins, and I think he'll win, I do think he'll win. I think it'll be a first or second round knockout. If he does win, then there's going to be some energy about this year that's what I mean. Another fight I couldn't create.
If he wins, obviously the UFC want him to win because it's going to set the year up of another fight. McGregor's back. Who's he fighting now? And it's going to set up the year. Yeah, the year ahead. Yeah. January, 4th UFC card. It's going to be a cracker. Get him in. If he wins, he has Masvidal, he has Diaz, he has Khabib. So it is going to, if he loses, it does look bad.
So what you're saying is Cowboy's going to throw the fight?
No, he's not going to throw it. Cowboy's known to fuck around. He has the most wins in the UFC for a reason. So and I think we'll see that in the press conference during the week. I don't think McGregor's going to be disrespectful. I think he will be a bit cheeky and smart, but I can't see him coming out going, I'm going out foot. Or he'll be like, look, he's going to say, I have the skills to beat him. I know I'm confident. I'm not taking anything away from him, but I am going to win. He's not going to come in not confident, but he's not going to be too what he used to be like, slating people and stuff.
I think he's got a lot of making up to do from last year. I don't think he's going to come in with that same bravado or whatever he used to do, because I think his actions last year, he lost a lot of fans, like including myself. Like
I think he'll have the same bravado. I don't think he'll be as
in your face, gonna.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be as low as what he's been in the past, and he calls when he talks about people's families and he talks about this, and I think he'll have the same like bravado because that's what sells his fights and that's what he's great at. But I just I think there'll be an element of respect in this one. Sorry to interrupt you there.
No, you're right.
I just think and I only see it going one way. I think Conor will light him up. Cowboy's a slow starter. Conor is probably the fastest starter in the game. I only see it going one way. I think it'll be a first round knockout or a second round knockout.
Hopefully.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, number one. Drum roll.
My number one football fan, Messi and Ronaldo.
You can't have
two people.
I couldn't. Now listen, so this is what I knew you were going to. Right. I think Messi's better by a centimetre. I'm not this, Messi's 10 times better. I respect Ronaldo and Messi for what the two of them do week in, week out. It's not as if, for the last 10 years, it's not as if, Ronaldo's won something with Portugal, but Messi's won it. I think watching them week in, week out, seeing what they do, you can argue for fucking 5 million years on who's better. The two of them are as good as each other, I think. It's great to watch. I'm delighted I've seen them play in my lifetime. I don't think we're going to see two players that good
at the same time.
we'll get great players. There's all great coming through. I don't think at the same time the records they're doing, what they're producing, I don't think it's going to be done. Because Messi does one thing, week later Ronaldo does one thing. It's not as if 6 months later Ronaldo's doing something. It's literally instant within that week. It's as if they're bettering each other week in, week out.
Yeah.
And for that, I couldn't pick two of them.
Yeah.
I know it's controversial. You have to pick one. I can't pick. As a football fan, I just loved about them. I loved about them. Ronaldo, obviously, he's with United and shit, so I have a little bit of hatred there because he's that. But as a football fan, I just think the two of them.
Yeah, I think you can't argue against either one of them. Like, we're living in a great time at the minute with football, and for me personally, I think Cristiano Ronaldo is a centimetre better, but I would have Messi in my team over Ronaldo. That sounds a bit crazy, doesn't it? For me, although Ronaldo I think is a better player, I think I would rather have Messi in my team over them if I had to pick one. I just think that sounds weird, but
that's weird.
That is weird, but I just see Messi as a better team player. He brings more to the team. He doesn't always, he brings more to he offers the team more than I think what Cristiano offers the team. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah. I think a lot of people's argument over the two is that international level, Ronaldo has done a lot more than Messi. Like he's won the European Championships with Portugal, whereas Messi really hasn't done the same level with Argentina. And people always kind of slate him at the big tournaments.
Yeah.
He goes missing and stuff like that. So
I think
that's where
I think for me as well, Davey. Like so that's a big point. That's a big point. And we could talk about this all day. We could do a podcast on this. Yeah. But for me, the fact that Cristiano has made it in England, in my opinion, is the hardest league in the world to play consistently well and to consistently score week after week after week. Whereas Messi is only ever proved himself in La Liga. That argument plus the international argument, I just think I'd just put him ahead just slightly.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Right, so we're on to Liam.
We're going to Mully's.
Right. So
it better not be Alan Shearer number one.
Fuck, what's wrong with Shearer?
I'm just telling you that now. We better not be Alan Shearer. No Newcastle players.
Definitely Paul Gascoigne.
Listen, I don't know when did Shearer retire? I'm trying to think.
It was more than 10 years ago.
Yeah,
easily. Probably
I thought it was.
It would have been.
I didn't include him, but I would have included Shearer if I knew he'd been playing an even this decade. But he wasn't. I'm pretty sure he wasn't.
15 years easily.
Yeah. All right, number 5 is the Rocket Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Oh yes, the Rocket.
So, the Rocket himself.
I know nothing about. I know he's fucking up the best, but
he is the greatest snooker player that has ever walked the planet. Walked the planet.
You like snooker?
Fuck, snooker's a great
but
game.
Snooker is
and
like.
You think boring? Golf is boring and tennis is boring.
Golf and tennis are boring. Is honestly batshit boring.
Right.
Okay.
A bit of atmosphere.
Snooker's brilliant, man.
You sit there in silence and watch them hit the balls.
Mate.
Golf, you can cheer. Tennis is.
Snooker's a working class.
It's a working class game, man.
Tennis and golf is
I'm not saying it's crap because I have watched it. And I've watched fucking Jimmy White.
Just because you're from the rich part of Dublin where you have fucking servants and you have your own tennis court and you have fucking tea and scones.
I wish.
Well, I'm from the grafters part of Newcastle and we have snooker tables, dartboards. I
bet you I'd beat it in snooker.
Fuck, you wouldn't get close to us, mate. You wouldn't fucking get close to us.
Right, we'll find a fucking snooker hall and we'll have a game.
Well, yeah, look at Ronnie O'Sullivan for a number of reasons. Like, I guess one of the biggest achievements, and obviously besides winning championships, because he's the most decorated snooker player of all time. But one of the greatest achievements that I like to always notice is to get a 147 in snooker is pretty much one of the greatest things.
It's like a 180, like a 9 darter in darts. Yeah,
it's like a 9 darter in darts, and he has the top 7 when I last looked, I believe. He has the top 7 fastest 147s of all time. And my favourite one as well, if you ever watch the clip on YouTube, it's brilliant. He breaks the balls from the start. And at this point, I think he had the top 5 fastest 147s. And I think he was chasing.
I think I've seen it and he's asking and he's flies around.
And he breaks and from the point of him chalking his cue and breaking the balls, he doesn't chalk his cue for the remainder of that set
frame,
or the frame. Sorry, and and I think that is just unbelievable. He just puts his chalk in his pocket and he doesn't chalk up for the whole thing, the remainder.
Yeah.
I've seen
And
a
then
few
I think
funny videos of him.
I think from the end of it, I think when he's on the black, I think he does the black with the left hand or something like that. It's just
Was there an issue that the other guy felt he was taking a piss out when he took exception to it?
Yeah, look, there's been issues like that over the years where, people have been thinking that it's a bit ungentlemanly, like, and he's been taking the piss. But I don't think it is. Like, I think, like, one of the other reasons why I love Ronnie O'Sullivan, even if he wasn't the greatest of all time, is he's, like, compared to a lot of the snooker players, he's actually got a bit of character about him. You know, when he's sitting in his chair, he's not just, like, sipping water, just fucking looking in ball of misery. He's often just, like, looking at the camera and just, like, winking or smiling or just playing games with it, you know, like, and it's just, he just adds a little bit of just something different to the sport. So yeah, I got to look at Ronnie as number 5.
I wouldn't have seen that one coming.
I don't know, especially when I'm saying tennis and golf.
Because I think when you come to Australia, you kind of they don't have that culture here. The snooker halls.
Even though they've got an ex-champion in Robertson.
Yeah.
He's the Australian ex-champion. The next one is Michael Phelps.
Saying to Billy the other day, there's so many.
Look at there's
smokes weed every day.
I don't think you can argue with Phelps. Like, he's to come out of retirement when he did as well, and come back to the Olympics and win, what was it, 5 gold medals or something like that. And like you just can't really argue with that. Like, he is the greatest swimmer of all time. The most decorated Olympian of all time. Nobody has won more gold medals than Michael Phelps. And easily for me makes it on the list.
No arguments there.
When I'm just trying to think as well. This decade, he would have been 2016,
2012.
12, that was the one I was thinking of.
12,
London
16,
Olympics.
The third and fourth, like we just discussed, I had them for 2. Was third was Lionel Messi. Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. I have Messi as third and Cristiano Ronaldo as second. So 5th was O'Sullivan, 4th Phelps, 3rd Lionel Messi, and 2nd Cristiano Ronaldo. We could argue about whether it's 2nd and 3rd all day long. I think that the pair of them have to be in there. I don't think anybody could possibly disagree with that. I think that'll probably be the one thing we've got consistent amongst the 3 way maybe. 2 greatest footballers of all time. If anything, I was, I didn't want to put people from the same sports in my top 5, but you're in a position where they are the 2 greatest athletes of like, I guess, ever in football, you could argue. And probably
100%. There's no one that can say, the only thing you can argue was who's number 1, who's number 2. Other than that, there's no one even close.
So that one's an easy one. And the number 1 top spot for me has got to be Floyd Money Mayweather. Quite an interesting one. Again, easily the most decorated boxer of all time. What is he, 50-0? Obviously there's a money thing there as well. He's won the most money, but for me to like his style of boxing, I'll tell you the best way of putting it for me is Canelo Alvarez is dominating boxing at the minute. Like he nobody comes close to him. I can't see anybody in the future even coming close to beating him. He's just an absolute domination at the minute, and Floyd made him look like a schoolboy. Like it was, like when I first watched the fight, I was like, oh, it was close. And then I watched the fight back, and I was like, man, that wasn't
really touched him.
That wasn't close at all. Like it was, and his technique and everything about him as an athlete. I think
I was looking at him. You know how many times he fought in the 10 years?
How many?
8.
Is that right?
Yeah, because I was doing a little research of who's who and what's what, and I was thinking, I was like, look, he's the greatest. I was just like, for me,
8 times. Yeah, I get that.
He just, you know what I mean? But he's well,
he's
number 1.
He's easily for me the number 1 athlete of this decade, I think. Yeah.
All right.
So we going to go through who missed the cut, or are we going to do that after?
We'll do Davey and then we'll go who missed the cut. Because there's about 10 people that I have that.
Yeah, I've got a few there as well. So Davey, I'll let you go next, mate.
Okay, number 5 for me was Usain Bolt.
Yeah.
I just think the guy was the first sprinter to ever win back-to-back or consecutive 100 and 200 meters at 3 Olympics. At the peak of his career, man, he just was unbeatable. He's broke the world record. I don't know how many times. Like, he's just, for me, he went out onto the track every time and produced. And to do that every time and win is like, to do that, it's just amazing for me. And his psyche, how he could never let himself go, oh, I'm having a bad day, you know, fuck this, I don't really care. Just say it was a track event that's in Zurich or something, like one of these league events or something. He still went out and did 100%, gave it 100% and just, blew everyone away.
Imagine the mindset of the day of the Olympics. He's the main lad. The other 9 runners, or how many is it?
It's 8 in there, so 7, the other 7.
The other 7, there's no limelight on them whatsoever.
Yeah.
So if they win, it's holy shit. He has
all the pressure
on him, and he breaks a record doing it.
And
like, that's
when he's crossing the line, he's even kind of just, it looks like he's just strolling across the line.
That's
He's
what
looking
I was
at the
going to
clock.
say. So when his fastest ever 100 meters, when I remember I've watched that a few times, and I still think he could have went
was
faster.
it 9.58, I think?
Yeah, like he slows down towards the end. He puts the brakes on before he even finishes. And I'm thinking,
if he goes full tilt, he probably could go close to like 9 seconds.
Imagine that.
I would have loved him if he actually had a sign for the.
I know.
So Central
Did you
Coast
see him though?
Mariners.
He was shite.
He scored 2 goals in the
Oh,
friendly,
he was bollocks
but
funny.
like they literally bounced off them.
Yeah.
Would have been funny.
It's like watching you.
I would have went to see him today. If you both were
100%.
playing against Brisbane Roar, would you have not went?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Just
100%.
to see him do that when he scored a goal.
Imagine, like, no matter what, imagine he did sign and he did score.
Yeah.
That's an accomplishment by itself.
Yeah.
Shows
It's
about the A-League.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Like, you know, he had a go. You know,
Yeah.
Good on him. Fair play to him. Why not?
Yeah. Okay, my number 4 is Winx, the racing horse. Now-
I called it earlier.
Now, for me, like
Thinking outside the box
outside
there,
the
Davey.
box. For me, like horse racing, growing up, my dad used to always bring me to like horse and race meetings at Christmas and Easter and stuff, like Leopardtown, blah blah blah. So horse racing has always been a big part of my life. So when I came to Australia, they had a horse previous to that. Black Caviar was another unbelievable horse and set the records. I think
Black Caviar unbeaten as well, was it?
I think was she beaten once or he beaten once? I'm not 100% sure, but I think he went 23 races in a row unbeaten. So then Winx came along, and not a lot of people know this, but like Winx won its first 2 races and then didn't win another race for 7 races. And they were like, oh, maybe like they thought he was going to be a superstar, but maybe she's not the superstar we thought she was. But then she went on a roll. She was like 35 races in a row, which included like 20.
Is that a record?
Yeah, 25 Group 1 races. She's won 4 Cox Plates in a row. Like no other horse has ever done that. She's won $26 million in prize money for her owners. She cost $230,000 at the Gold Coast. The Magic Millions is actually happening today down the Gold Coast. That's a big horse sale.
Oh, okay,
meeting.
yeah.
So at the time it was a lot of money, but not massive. Like there this week, one horse sold for like 2 million or something like that. So when you look at it in the course of it, like 230, and it's made $26 million for their connections. Like
was I know nothing about horse racing. This is going to sound like a silly question. Was its mom or dad or whatever?
So it was bred out of what was the sire? I think could have been Schnitzel. I'm not 100% sure, but it was a decent. They pay something like 230,000. Like the breeding is pretty. Yeah, it's expensive. It's pretty. Like the average Joe would buy a horse for maybe $40,000-$50,000 if you're in a little syndicate. Going up to that kind of price range, you're looking the top pedigree. I think she was out with Street Cry, I think. Don't quote me on that, but I think so. But yeah, so they bought it like it was bred to win races, but nobody could have ever foreseen her to go the way she did and to hold the record now.
Would you put it down as the greatest horse of all time?
Yeah, well, it was voted like the world's best horse, both male and female, for 3 years in a row, 2015, 16, 17. So for me, I was a bit skeptical over the time because she was beating the same horses the whole time, and the big question over her was that she never went to England or Europe to take on, or America to take on the rest of the world horses.
She's a Messi of horses.
Yeah, basically they say, because Black Caviar actually went to England and ran at Royal Ascot and won. Just about, I remember that race watching it. I was actually back in Ireland watching it, and she won. He won by a nostril actually, but that was the one question mark. She never went and took on the rest of the world. So that's the only they
She's
say
still
blemish.
not? Still
No,
not?
she's been retired now. She's
she?
she's retired. So
She's actually a really big fan of the podcast.
yeah,
So,
yes, she watches it every week
Shout out to
religiously.
Shout out to Wink.
Good on you, Winks.
So that was my number 4. My number 3 is a female Irish boxer called Katie Taylor.
Yep.
Because Katie, I think nobody can deny that she's probably the best female boxer of all time. Her amateur record is unbelievable. She's won Olympic gold. She's won world championships numerous times. I think she only was beaten once in her amateur career, and now she's 15-0 in her professional career when she turned professional in 2016. And she's 15-0, and she's a 4-time world champion now. She's only one of 7 boxers, male and female, that are hold all 4 belts at the one time.
Yeah,
She's a 2-time world champion. And if you have you watched her box?
I've only seen highlights. I've never seen a full fight.
You watch that girl box, I'd say she would give lads in her own weight class a good go. She is unbelievable. Her hand speed are unbelievable. And the big thing that they all say, like Eddie Hearn, her promoter, and all the other people that ever talk about her, she's the most humble person outside the ring. She's from just outside Dublin, a place called Bray in County Wicklow. And she will go into the local gym and she'll be training young kids. Like, she doesn't have this, like, I'm a superstar persona. She goes in there because she knows where she was actually, she played international football for Ireland.
She played football.
She could have turned pro football, but her boxing was her dad used to train her, so he was a big motivator. And she's since split from her dad when she turned pro, and she's with, I think what's that boxing, that
MTK?
Yeah, MTK, I think, boxing.
Toys of Furies.
Yeah. So, but yeah, just her as a role model for women to promote women's boxing all over the world, and especially back in Ireland, because Ireland hasn't had a real superstar in a while, bar Conor McGregor. She has kind of she doesn't have that kind of the crap that goes with Conor McGregor. She's just a dedicated sports person who loves her sport and is an ultra professional. So that was why I picked her as my number 3. My number 2 is, I actually said, right, I can only put one in, so I went to Leo Messi. For me, I'm a left footer, he's a left footer, so I just love. It's weird. I thought, like, when you see left footers play.
You left footed?
I'm left footed, yeah.
Hey, they couldn't tell.
I always thought he was a bit backwards.
I fucking put how many balls in the fucking a sixpence for you? Fucking many assists for you. But for me, watching him as a left footer, he's just a naturally gifted player. I know Ronaldo he's an outstanding footballer as well for me, but I don't like the side of Ronaldo that comes the arrogant side, and he comes across as being, I know he does a lot of generous charity work and stuff like that, but I just see him whenever he's on the pitch, he's always looking up at the fucking main screen to see there's a camera on, and he's fixing his hair and stuff. Whereas Messi just goes out and plays football. For me, I know he's only stayed in La Liga, so he's untested, as you were talking about, other leagues, England, Italy and stuff like that. And his international career, he's never won a major kind of title with Argentina, but for me, he's just the best player I've personally ever seen play.
Yeah.
Maradona, I was only young growing up watching Maradona when he was at Napoli and stuff like that. I remember he was just...
Fucking hell, you're 100 years old or something, Davey?
Don't let this baby face fool you, mate.
When did Maradona retire?
Yeah.
When do you retire?
He was at the 94 World Cup, so it was only a little bit after that, yeah.
Right, yeah.
So, Messi went in as my number 2, and my number 1 is the Dublin senior football team. So the Gaelic football team in Ireland.
The who?
Yes, exactly. So I'll explain it to you, Mully.
Fucking who are they?
They obviously there's 32 counties in Ireland. Each county has its own football, Gaelic and hurling football team, and Dublin hadn't won an All Ireland title since 1995, and in 2011 was the first time we had won it. So that's what 12 years they hadn't won it, and like, we're the capital of Ireland. We have the highest population, so we have, I think we're second in the roll of honour of the most championships. So to go 12 years not being actually even in the final, to go and win it, and then go on the run that we've gone on, we've ended up winning 7 All Irelands since No, we've got 5 All-Irelands in a
We
row.
got 5 in a row.
So over this decade, since
2010, we've won the All-Ireland Championship 7 times.
Okay.
We've got the record of the most wins, league and championship wins of undefeated 35 in a row. We haven't been defeated in. And personally, for me, there's 3 players that I played with underage have been a part of that success.
Yeah.
I played at club level with and went to school with as well. So for me personally, you kind of, when you're watching them, especially living over here, and you see these lads that you used to play ball with when you were 13, 14, you know, being able to do this year in, year out, and to go on the run they've gone on, it's just been just something special to do that. So that consistency they have.
Beat up the Dubs, and we're going to win it again this year.
Yeah, 6 in a row.
Here we go, 6 in a row.
Right, let's sort this out then.
So, right. Will we agree on a top 5, or will we...
I think, look, we need to agree on like Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. Whether we put them in together or we give them a spot each.
Well, we put them as number 1 because
Let's put them as number
they're
1.
the only ones that are in all of it.
Yeah, okay.
Let's put them in together.
Yeah.
Right, so they're number 1.
Right.
Number 2...
I love the fact that you got Ireland team in there or Dublin team in there, but that's a team. I can't we can't have that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Can we put Phelps and Bolt?
Yeah, I'd say Phelps and Bolt.
Phelps and Bolt.
Yeah.
Yep. So there's the 3. Who goes? So who are going to go second? But no, hold on. Let's get the 5 and then we'll figure out the order.
Right, so
let's.
Messi, Ronaldo,
So hold on. So we'll go Messi, Ronaldo.
Phelps, Bolt.
Yeah, so that's 3.
And then... See, it's hard. Who are we going to pick? You can't throw Ronnie O'Sullivan in there. We'll let you two want him in there, it is.
Why the fuck not?
It's kind of his want, I don't mind. He's class. It's just,
Yeah.
I reckon McGregor should be in there. What do you reckon, Bill? No. But, alright, while you're doing that, people that didn't get mentions that should have
Yeah.
been...
Yeah.
Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
She's another person that some people she inspired a lot of girls to get
Yeah.
into the UFC.
Yeah.
Manny Pacquiao.
Pacquiao,
Pacquiao, I've got
Tyson
on my
Fury,
list.
Fury,
Tyson Fury for
Fury
his
for what
comeback.
his comeback.
Fury's a good shout.
Fury's could be up
He
there
was on my
for
list.
comeback of the year.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? For what
Yeah.
he's done, mental health,
yeah,
and come back and to get up for like the Undertaker from that bomb he got.
yeah. You'd have to have Djokovic in there as well with the tennis.
Nadal.
Yeah, Nadal.
Who else did I have? I have
Tom
a list
Brady.
here.
Tom
Tom Brady.
Brady,
Yeah.
yeah,
See, and
sports.
LeBron James.
LeBron
Yeah.
James.
I was talking to a lad and he was like, "You must have LeBron James." Look, I know I don't know anything about basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, look,
I don't watch it, so I know he's the GOAT, and I know Tom Brady is.
we're all influenced here by like geographical location. You know,
Yeah,
like,
that's what I mean.
Like, there's no way I'm picking fucking the Dublin Gaelic football team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And equally, if we were in the States, then we'd probably go. LeBron could
Like
be at the top one.
I was thinking
you
of
know?
putting him in just because, like, he's everywhere. Like, fuck, you think of basketball now, it's LeBron James definitely. But I was just
Yeah.
like, I don't know any stats on him. I don't know any. Like, so I'm not going
Yeah.
to talk shit of going, oh yeah, he's unreal. I know he is, and he's the best at the minute at what he does probably.
Yeah.
But I just couldn't put him in. Same with Tom Brady.
I think we need to have at least one female athlete in there. Like, I think whether we go Serena Williams, who missed off mine, or we go with Katie Taylor. I think
For me, it'd be Katie definitely. She's on my miss out list.
Yeah.
okay, let's go Katie because she is the greatest
Female boxer,
of all time.
yeah.
So that means we've got one spot left, and I'm going to argue the case for Floyd Mayweather.
Oh yeah, I'd agree because I mean,
Yeah, well, he's
like
the
him or hate him, the guy.
He's
Never lost.
He's ultra. When he gets in that ring, he's ultra professional. Like you
Yeah.
can't hit him, even though like there was fights that Pacquiao fight. A lot of people
Yeah.
thought that Pacquiao shouldn't have lost that. I should have
Yeah.
maybe. Was that ended in the draw? Or Mayweather won. Mayweather won, didn't he?
No,
'Cause he's
Mayweather
like-
won.
yeah.
Mayweather
So
Mayweather
there's
won.
I watched that fight here in Brisbane,
Yeah.
and I remember going, there's no way he should have lost that fight because he was a more aggressive fighter
Yeah.
on the day. But that is part of Floyd's
Yeah.
tactics, isn't he?
Floyd,
Kinda-
he fights off that back
He
foot.
fights
no
off the back
shoulder.
foot. He's guard. You can't hit him and
can't
then
hit
just
him.
catch it with
Yeah.
those lefts.
And I think the stone's on him to come out and to go, like Conor McGregor's calling him out. So he goes, all right, comes out of retirement. Like, look, I know it's a different sport and people argue that, but the reality is Conor has a left hand that puts people to sleep.
Yeah.
And when you're facing, like, and at that point, Floyd was what?
49.
49.
Yeah.
And when you're facing someone like who's, what, was 28, 29 at the time?
And that's peak.
At his
McGregor was
peak,
Yeah.
and with knockout power. Like, that is dangerous. Yeah, and you're putting your whole career and your whole legacy on the line to fight him.
And it was class.
And then it was class.
The build up to it,
Yeah.
like,
And then to beat him, you know?
it was.
It was brilliant.
It
So-
just showed us it's like his skill after he picked McGregor apart. What was the 7th round? He just picked him apart then. He
Yeah.
was just like bang, bang, bang. He just saw his combinations. McGregor just realised, I think, at that stage, he's like, oh, this guy actually is as good as his record.
To go 7
says.
rounds. I know Mayweather doesn't knock people out, but to go 7 rounds with.
Yeah, because he's not
Right,
he's
well,
not able.
well, that's class.
He's wearing boxing gloves, so he doesn't have the same impact with his punches.
Yeah.
So yeah, that kind of took away his power, his main weapon. But you just seen the skills, skill set that Mayweather had that day. It's just different gravy,
Class,
man.
All right, so I think we'll all agree that Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi will go number 1.
Yep.
Yeah.
Number 2, who we going to go with? We've got a choice of.
I'd put Bolt. Did we say Bolt? Did we?
I think Phelps should be ahead of Bolt because Phelps has won more gold medals than anybody else in the whole.
I just
history.
picked Bolt because running I think's harder than swimming, but that's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's probably not. To be,
kidding me?
put it this way.
You reckon it's?
What would you rather be? The quickest man in the world or the quickest man in water in the world?
Yeah, but look at it.
That's what I'm basing it on. I'm not basing it on.
To be the quickest man in the water is a lot harder than be quickest man on
No,
land.
it's not.
Mate, are you kidding me? I think
How is it?
it's a lot more biomechanically different.
How long does
in
it take
water.
to swim 100 meters, and how long does it take to run 100 meters?
Doesn't
So
matter.
it's
How long-
obviously physically.
Doesn't
It's
matter, take
obviously
10
physically
seconds.
harder to
It's
do that.
physically, well, like, that's what I mean. There's another debate. What you mean? It's harder. The boat is really hard, but like,
I think you're faced.
I'd rather be named the fastest man in the
I-
world than the fastest man
I
in
think
swimming.
I think you're naturally gifted as a sprinter because you're either fast or you're not fast.
Yeah.
Whereas as a swimmer, you have to develop the technique of.
Yeah.
I know you develop the technique of running, you can, but to develop the technique to glide through water at that speed.
against drag.
What would you rather be known
to
as?
use your arms and your legs to kick.
What would you rather be known as? The quickest, fastest man in the world or the fastest man in water?
Yeah,
who
but
do
you
you
said
reckon?
what was more difficult. But the reality is, so out of the pair of them as athletes, Phelps has achieved more. He's won more gold medals. I'm not debating whether Bolt should be in there or not. Like, we already know he's going to be in there. I just
Well,
think
it's a different
Phelps should be
sport
ahead
as
of
well,
him.
Yeah.
Would you agree that he should be in second, Phelps?
I don't mind who goes. The next four, I don't care.
Like, I mean, the guy has won so many gold medals.
Okay.
We'll go with Phelps, and Bolt definitely has to be third. Close third.
Let's go third. Then fourth, I think we for me.
Yeah,
Floyd
you'd have to
Mayweather.
put Floyd, obviously, because
And then fifth, Katie.
Fifth, Katie.
There you go.
Done.
So we have Messi, Ronaldo, number 1. Number 2, we have
Michael Phelps.
Then we have number 3, the fastest man in the
Usain
world,
Bolt.
Usain Bolt.
Number 4, Floyd
Mayweather.
Mayweather. And
And
number 5,
Katie Taylor.
Katie Taylor.
Before you just go, do a underdog of the decade and do a comeback of the decade.
Comeback of the decade for me is Woods. For me, that's a comeback. Is
For me,
Woods.
it would probably have to be Tyson Fury. I don't know.
yeah, I'd probably.
Jeez, I don't know.
I'd say.
Oh wait, Leicester.
Leicester's a great shout, by the way.
Leicester
Yeah.
winning the league
Leicester
is.
win the league is a fantastic
Fuck, how would we
shout.
forget them?
Would that be not be?
That's
That's the
probably-
underdog.
That's
That not
the
be.
underdog.
That is the underdog.
Yeah.
Leicester is the underdog. You know, to come up.
That's yeah, Leicester
Yeah.
is.
Was it
100%.
was it their first league? So they got promoted, and then the first season in the Premiership they finished first, or was it the second?
I think it was the second. I don't think
Second.
it was the first.
I'm not too
I
sure.
can't remember.
I'm not too sure, but it doesn't matter. They
Doesn't
won
matter.
the
They were,
league.
yeah,
It's
they were
ridiculous.
brilliant. Yeah, how would we forget them?
I don't know.
There'll be a few others that we forget.
Yeah,
I think
maybe-
if anybody listening should put their top 5 on the
Yeah, so
On
people,
the page.
if
On
you're
the page,
watching,
you know.
comment underneath. Don't be giving us any stick. This is just personal opinions, so
Yeah.
don't be going. If people going mad here, I say, "Fucking how do you forget this?" It is what it is. So comments below.
I'll tell you what it is. Like, we'll look at all the comments. We'll make a list of it, and the most popular. We'll include ours separately. So we'll make a list of
Yeah.
everybody who's done it,
Yeah.
and we'll go we'll make a definitive top 5 of the decade based upon everybody's,
Everybody, yeah.
Yeah.
and we'll put it up. So we'll like if say for example if 100 other people put Floyd Mayweather as first, like me, then he'll go
Yeah,
first.
he'll go first.
and then we'll do it that way. That way it's the fairest, isn't it?
Yeah. So who else?
Then it also includes athlete of the, what was it? Sorry, Billy.
Just underdog of the decade.
Underdog of the decade and
Back of the decade.
comeback of the decade. Comeback of the decade. That's a good one.
Comebacks.
Comebacks. Jeez.
Yeah, you'd have to obviously
Tyson
Tyson
Fury would have to be
Fury,
up there, wouldn't
Tiger
he?
Woods.
Tiger Woods. Man, I can't think of any other than that. I'll tell you. I'll tell you a great one. Comeback of the decade and an athlete that we haven't discussed. George St Pierre.
Yeah, it was a good comeback.
Good comeback. John Jones came back from a few years off.
Yeah, but he was off.
Floyd
suspended.
Mayweather come back of the decade to come back and beat McGregor. He was out what 2 or 3 years before that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jeez,
What other sports was there?
trying to think.
None of cricket. None of you watch cricket is.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of cricket.
The World Cup.
There's
France
nothing-
winning the World Cup.
Yeah,
It's- weren't really that exciting, really.
Nah,
Liverpool winning the Champions League.
nah.
No.
No.
Look, I'll tell you what was worth a shout. Rugby World Cup recently. South Africa winning. That's a good win. It's a good win for them. To beat England as well. England were flying, absolutely
Especially
flying.
after beating New Zealand.
Beating New Zealand, going at the final, everybody's favourites. And in South Africa were just a bit better on the day, weren't they?
Yeah.
But I think we've covered them all. What do you reckon?
Yeah, so yeah, if you guys put in your top 5, and we'll, as you said, Mully will correlate top 5 out of everyone's selections,
Yeah.
and
We'll
put
get,
on
Bill,
the page.
we'll get Billy Bundy to do up a list there.
Get Bill
Stat
Bundy.
out.
And
Get
pull
it
up some
going.
stats, get us some graphs going.
And thanks to everybody who's been liking and subscribing so far. The feedback's been pretty good.
It has been really good.
Keep
yeah.
liking and sharing.
And we do like everybody's feedback. We
Yeah.
do take on board. We've had some feedback about the sound quality, which we've took on board and fixed straight away.
Yeah. Some people said the structure to it has been a little bit how you going, but look, we're learning still. So
yeah, look, we'll learn.
we'll get better as we go on. We can only learn, you know. I mean, we're not going to be fucking podcast experts from the first 2 we do.
Yeah.
So we're trying to get better each week. We're trying to keep the topics nice and interesting. So you
Yeah.
can, as I said, anyone that wants us to talk about something, comment, because
Yeah.
a few people saying, "Oh, why don't you do this?" Yeah, we will do it. Just message us,
Yeah.
and we'll do it. No problem.
And-
We're open to ears to anything, whether it's
Politics.
Politics,
yeah,
you name
climate
it.
change, whatever.
Do you know what I mean? We'll,
Yeah.
we'll
Get
try
on.
and cover everything. We're just trying to keep it interesting. So
yeah, we might even do a Brexit one.
No,
Brexit
we won't
one.
do Brexit.
No, I won't do
We won't do a
Brexit
Brexit
one.
one.
Okay, maybe one.
But
I did one about the royal family, will we?
Fuck,
Yeah.
don't even get me started on them.
Conspiracy theories.
Conspiracies.
Conspiracies is where it's at.
We're gonna get a conspiracy theory going.
Conspiracies where it's at. But yeah, by all means, continue to provide feedback for it. Particularly like the stuff about the sound quality. That was awesome to hear.
Yeah.
To hear, wasn't it?
Yeah,
That was really good.
Hopefully, Bill
Um,
gets it sorted, which he
done.
will, because he's the main man around here to get stuff done.
done.
So,
All right, guys.
we'll wrap it up. Thanks very
Yeah.
much for watching, and
Up the home, lads.
up the Nomads.
That's moments.
Get it up, yeah.
Yep.